My name is Him 500 and I'm young and great. Okay, my name is Him 500. I'm the owner of a credit repair company, also dealing with real estate investments. I do everything from business funding, business finance, building credit, establishing credit. I also own my own trade line, so everything I do is pretty much in-house. When you're born, some of us either just inherit wealth, so you inherit property. I have a family member whose grandfather had 80 properties. Well, his grandfather passed away. He ended up inheriting the store. He sold the store to the city for $3 million. It's no way that at 21 I would be able to acquire that much income. It's rare. You hear some people get with technology and they boom like that, but that's rare. But with good credit, I'm able to leverage myself. Incomes of $100,000 deals, $120,000 deals to leverage myself out of poverty because I had good credit versus having a silver spoon. Honestly, it's a lot of the tools we need in life, and that's one of the things that I want to, with schools. The issue is that the curriculum was taught back early. We've been doing the same curriculum. I learned the same curriculum my parents were taught. So if curriculum was built in the 80s and 70s and 80s, it wasn't as influential, and especially in our community. So it wasn't for us. The things that we're learning now within credit and things like that is not things I don't think was originally taught and built for us to understand. So when it comes to schools, I don't think the curriculum hasn't caught up to date. Pretty much the curriculum hasn't been caught up to now, to bringing it current with what's important and how things are moving and the things on life. As education decreases, we getting more entrepreneurs and self-taught education programs and things like that. To build wealth is power in numbers. I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of one person's. As a team and collectively, it's like we got to get back to the unit. And that's one of the things I'm doing with the Willie Lynch Project, is bringing our unit back together, because we're so segregated and diverted that we can't work together. And the power is going to be in numbers. And that's why we lose, is because we don't work together. So if I can bring 20 people in and we all do a project and we earn, let's say we yield over $1 million, like on a project, the one that you read on, is if we can do something like that, splitting up, we're building wealth for 20 families versus me going out doing it for myself, building it for myself. So now, not only that, in my community, is there not just one kid who comes with that wealth, there's 20 other kids with the same opportunities that's being raised under the umbrella of learning real estate, that's being raised in the household because it's something that's being talked about. Credit is being talked about, investments are being talked about, ownership of restaurants is being talked about. So when you got that in the home, the whole community is elevating and rising versus just one family. I came out of a community where one family was the hub of everything and nobody else understood nothing. So that's one of the things I want to, I want to spread it across the board to where everybody can pretty much elevate the whole conversation of finances, the conversation of business and entrepreneurship and investments. What Willie Lynch is, Willie Lynch wrote a letter on how to enslave and keep blacks enslaved for the next 300 to 1,000 years. He wanted to turn the old versus the young. He wanted to turn light skin versus dark skin, turn fat versus skinny, you name it, turn us against each other. And with being able to do that, what it would do is cause a diversion and keep us enslaved. Still till today, we still do the same thing. We don't come from a community where we respect our elders. We don't have a lot of respect for the older. The older don't respect the young. So it's still the same thing that goes on today. So with my Willie Lynch experience is that I want to bridge the gap that different walks of life. I don't want it to, even in cities like Atlanta, it's still segregation. It's one of the biggest gay capitals in Atlanta, but it's still segregated to where they're comfortable going, the places that they go. With the Willie Lynch experience is that I want to bring in finance and money and understand that we can bridge these communities all under one umbrella, just because all of us are still black. So what the Willie Lynch Experience is bringing us all together, old, young, straight, gay, whatever you may be, whatever your religious preference may be, we can all come together. We prevent it with understanding. See, because with credit, one thing about credit is that you can build it up, you can tear it down, you can rebuild it up and tear it down again. It's all in understanding. A lot of times it's a miscommunication, a misconception that when somebody says, I can guarantee you better credit, I can guarantee anybody can have better credit. It's with education and the understanding of credit and how to use it, how to utilize it, understanding what it means, understanding your rights, understanding what people look for. A lot of times I get people and I'll clear their credit report and they expect that they get a 700 score. In reality, you won't get a 700 score with a clear credit report if you haven't already established credit. See, and that's the thing is like, I can take you, it's easy to go from a 400 to a 600. That 700, that 640, 660 to a 700 is where we have to work. And the thing is that a lot of times, on topic of why I guarantee that we can guarantee results is because if you work with me, I may not be able to delete everything off your credit. But if we can't delete it, then maybe we can make it into a positive. Maybe we can get the late payments removed off your student loans. If we can't get your student loans clear, we get the missed payments wiped off. And if, let's say you got a collection account, let's say we negotiated down and now you pay a third of the price. Any credit, there's a solution to any issue that you have on your credit report. It may not just be getting it wiped off and deleted. So I can guarantee you results. I guarantee you I can get your credit into shape, but it's going to take some work and understanding and the education that comes behind it. And that's what I provide to my customers. When you're a business owner, I have this conversation with so many people because a few years back, 5 years back, you can go back and you could build business credit and go in the bank and use only your business credit. Now they want to guarantee a grantor on your loans, a lot of times to back your actual business, your business credit. But establishing business credit and personal credit is, you want to be strong first, because starting out with your business, everything is going to be based off of you. So you want to attack your own credit, get that set up and get that and get your personal credit in a good space. Then you move forward and setting up your business. You want to register your business with Dun & Brad, opening up and establishing accounts and business accounts with different financial institutions and actually building from there. If you want to go fast, you can buy seasoned companies. You can buy business trade lines, just like you can buy trade lines for personal. It's just depend on if you want to slow grow it or if you want a rapid return, and how much capital you're looking for and how much capital you're willing to invest into your business credit or your personal credit. The ultimate goal for Him 500 is to elevate us as a community credit-wise, and not just getting your credit in order, but understanding the whole financial aspect. So next, I'm incorporating a stockbroker that's going to work with me and show me and incorporate investments. And then I also have a financial planner that's going to stand on the other side that'll be able to break down your actual net worth. So instead of us sitting there Googling what's Meek Mill's net worth, we're going to actually show you what your net worth is, how to break it down, show you what your actual, how to break down a net worth and what you're worth versus, your liquid and your assets, liquid assets and your physical assets, break it all down, show you how to come up with an equation to get your actual net worth. And then I have somebody who's going to show you how to invest in the stocks. So on this side, we'll break everything down, what you're worth, how much money you make, how much you can afford to save, where you need to cut back on, and how much you can start investing it after you start saving, where you can invest it. Now, I have a guy over here to teach you how to invest it. Me, I'll be the head of the credit and getting your credit together, and then we'll pretty much control all of your financial portfolio. Is the end goal, is to help people.